Hi Dakota, this is Trevor Coleman, Mizzou baseball graduate assistant and one of the instructors at the Mizzou hitting experience this past fall. I wanted to thank you first and foremost for being a part of the hitting experience. It's been great having you a part of the camp. I know it was somewhat time demanding and it took a lot of commitment for you guys to show up all those times, but we really appreciate your effort and your desire to get better and to compete against your peers. So I want to thank you. I also want to apologize for the first version of this video not having quality video or quality audio for you to understand it. I know that's frustrating. I'm very happy that you guys sent us an email to get that redone, get this redone for you. Because we understand that the camp is not a lot of instruction, it's more competition based, so this is the best avenue for us to go ahead and get you some instruction by breaking down your swing with this video. I want to start by taking a look here at your swing. We'll go just one time through for you to be able to take a grasp of which swing this was that we're looking at and have an idea where we're going to go. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning here, and let's start with your setup. First thing I want to point out is how far open we are when we start. Okay, let me draw you a line just so you can kind of see exactly what I'm talking about. But we're looking at from toe to toe a pretty healthy angle in which we are more open and we're not directly facing the pitcher. And obviously you know this. This is not something that is necessarily natural. So it's an opportunity for you to get your both eyes on the ball and be more focused at the pitcher. This is some people give you a hard time for this. That's okay. We don't want it to be extremely way out there or take be so far open that we can't get closed every time. That's the fear. But as long as we can accomplish that, then I'm okay. I would say go ahead with being open. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is your leg kick, and I want to spend quite a bit of time speaking about your leg kick because the leg kick, and hopefully you understand what I mean. It's that part of your swing. Let me delete these off of here. It's the part of your swing from basically right here to right here to right there. Obviously, that's a big motion. Okay, we're talking about your foot going up in the air quite a bit, and when it does, it brings your knee with it, of course, and it generates a lot of momentum. That's the positive thing about a leg kick. That is why there's several major league hitters and successful major league hitters, one of which I'm going to show you here in a little bit, that's their bread and butter is to have that leg kick because it generates momentum. It sets their hips up, sets their backside up to be extremely involved in their swing, and that's ultimately what we're trying to accomplish. And I'm going to show you that and how you don't necessarily get everything you can out of your leg kick and how it affects your swing relative to how a major leaguer uses a leg kick here in a bit. First thing I want to show you is when this sucker comes up, I'm going to stop it right at the top, hopefully. Okay. When we get to this position, look at how our left thigh, our left leg went straight up in the air. It came back a little bit, okay? But for the most part, it went straight up in the air, and what I'm really concerned with is not necessarily the direction in which it comes up, but really at the top, where are my hips? How are my hips? My hips in this position that you're in right now are currently still square to the pitcher, okay? Ultimately, what I want to accomplish with my leg kick is my hips to be turned inwards. And I don't mean a lot. I mean, I want quite a bit, but I don't want it turned on 90 degrees, of course. Okay? Let me delete these off of here so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about as desirable hips when at the top of our leg kick. So what would happen ideally is from this hip to our knee would be kind of tucked into here, into our other knee, and then our knee would kind of be, our foot would kind of be pointed out in the other direction. Okay, and our hips would be turned inwards. Okay, and this is a weird little diagram here. I just screwed it up with that last line, but what that's going to do is that's going to turn our hips in just the slightest amount. And when that does that, what's going to happen is this back side, this back hip, is going to coil. It's going to get a lot of tension in it. A lot of kinetic energy is going to be built up in this back hip. So when it's time for us to go, we go. We have a lot of very fast twitch muscles in there that are able to really power our swing from the back side through the baseball. Okay, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute as well. A couple other things I want to talk about. We're going to go forward here a little bit. I'm going to delete these lines off of here. I want to talk about our hands. Okay? So let me show you where they start. I'm going to draw a quick little oval here. Just so we have a frame of reference as to where they start. Okay? As we're going to the baseball right here, we don't have a whole lot of hand movement backwards. And because of that, it doesn't generate a lot of torque on our back side, which I'm going to show you and what we ultimately want to have in our swing, something I was just talking about. If we were to be able to get our hands in our load backwards a little more, maybe another 5 to 6 inches, it would provide even more torque in our hips and in our body in general for us to uncoil more aggressively at the baseball, more assertively at the baseball. Okay. We don't have a whole lot more time on this first section of video. I'm gonna set us up for the Major League comparison with Javier Baez, and I'll get that cranking here in a second. So stay tuned for that. At the beginning of that video, I'm also going to show us a couple other things I want to point out about your swing in general, and then we'll get going with Javier. Stay tuned, Dakota. Thank you.